Hi friends, MD Vegan. I make a pear pie today in a vanilla cashew cream on a crust with almonds, walnuts and dates. Very simple crust. You see, I have a cup of almonds and today I have some walnuts. Well, it's almost a cup, so a little bit less but almost the same amount. Usually I take only almonds for my crust and I process them with dates. These are 8, 9 or 10 dates, medium size, pitted of course. But today I take some walnuts, replace some of the almonds with the walnuts because I want this walnut flavor, because the pear and the walnut, I find them nicely related. And I want to make this pie all about the pears, so a lot of pears in there, with a little bit of cashew cream around it to hold it, that the filling doesn't fall apart. But the pear is the center, and therefore I think the walnut touch in the crust might be nice. Let's see, I have to try it, the first time I make it. So I have here my food processor fitted with the S-blade. That is the perfect tool to make a pie crust for a raw food cake or a raw life bakery. Since I have this food processor, I can make these crusts. Otherwise, you have to make improvisation. You can purchase the nut flour, the nut meal already, but I like it fresh, and for this, it's a perfect tool. So I put a cup of almonds in there and begin, because the almonds are hard, the walnuts are pretty soft. So the almonds, I make the almond meal first. It's a little bit easier, I guess, it saves some time. And begin. This is a coarse meal now. This is what it looks like. See? I just break the almonds down to a coarse meal, and I do it ahead of time before I put the walnuts and the softer dates in, because when I do it all at the same time, it takes a lot longer, I guess. So now the dates and the walnuts, and one more processing, one more dance, and then my dough is ready. That should be the dough, the sticky dough, so that it keeps together when I press it into the form, spring form. So that was it looks like here. See, when I press it together with 3 fingers, it sticks together. That is a sticky dough. So first I make a coarse meal, then I make a sticky dough with the dates and the walnuts in this case. And then I fill it into my spring form. It's a medium-sized spring form, and not even 20 centimeters, maybe 18 or so. And line it with parchment paper, although the sides this time. Let's try how that works. You don't need to do that. That's just, I tried today. So I put now the crust, the sticky dough into the form, like that. I have to stretch it out a little bit, and then everything goes in. As I said, it's about a cup of nuts, so 2 cups of nuts. A little bit less than 2 cups, and 9 or 10 dates, medium size. That is for this form usually a fair amount. Before I now press it down, has to be pressed down to make it really stick together. I place it evenly everywhere, distribute it here. And then I begin to press it with the knuckles of my fist, here like this, carefully first, and then I get a little bit more weight onto it. And that takes some time now. I come back in a moment and show you the result. So the crust is done. Here I show you. That's what it looks like. It's not that high anymore, you see. Pretty firm. So then I cut a piece out of the cake, the piece will keep together, most likely. So that is the first step, the crust. Second step is I make my cashew cream. Here I have these pears. See, beautiful pear. I have two sizes here. I have here some pears here, or 4 cups or so. Cut it into small pieces, peeled it, seeded it, and cut it into small pieces. And here, the same pear in slices, also seeded and peeled. And that is for the bottom layer. I show you in a moment. That's a little bit a fancy thing, but just make it a little bit nicer, not so important. Most important is to have a lot of pears, and that is then kept together by the cashew cream. But I make the cashew cream now first. So I have 2 cups of cashews. I blend it into but I have to blend it with bananas to make it a little bit softer. Here I have 3 bananas, small bananas, and 2 cups of cashews. Yeah. And 1 lemon. And the lemon comes into the blender together with the banana. So I do that first in the blender because when I put the nuts first, there might be a problem with the blender. I might need some water. And I want to use less water, as little as possible, so put the soft ingredients on the bottom and the nuts on top. Yeah. Because when I use water, I need more thickener. I need more coconut oil to firm it up. Yeah. More water, more thickener. So now the bananas, the lemon, and the cashews blended up. See, I still need some water. It is not, or you know what? I could also try, before I put the water in, maybe I do something else. I have just an idea. Here is, see, this is what it looks like. There is a little hole inside. Yeah, and this hole gives me the chance to put my coconut oil in, because otherwise it might be thrown up the sides here from the blender, and to avoid that I put it in last. But when I have this hole in the nuts, in the bananas, it is also a liquid, so it can help to blend the nuts. This is here maybe a 1/2 cup or 3/4 of a cup of coconut oil. It's hot water, coconut oil, it's melted now. I can now put it into my blender, liquid form. Let's see if it works. Maybe I need no water, let's see. Otherwise I can always put some water, that doesn't work. Yeah. One more blender then, let's see. It looks a little bit dry to me. Let me see, I try the texture with a little spoon. It's a little bit firm. It's a bit firm. I put some water, just a little bit. Now that looks better. Yeah, that is creamy now. Show you in a moment. Now that is creamy. Good. And last but not least, vanilla. A little bit of vanilla just a teaspoon, to give a little bit of nice flavor to the cream for the pears. So that's it. So what do I do first now? My cream is done. And here that's what it looks like. See, it's a nice cream. I put a spoon or two tablespoons or so. I put on the bottom, on the crust. Just add a little round layer, just very little, just to just touch the cover the crust. And that is the fanciest thing I wanted to show you with the first layer of the pears. Now, I want to put one layer of pears, here the slices here. I want to put them onto the crust, and that's why I put a little bit of glue, so to say, between the crust and the pears. Otherwise, if I put the pears directly on the crust as one layer, they could just the whole cake could fall slide off the crust. If it's something, you never know. So I make sure that won't happen. So I glue so to say, the pears, the slices onto the bottom. I want this basic layer because I think that would be nicer to have this flavor, this pear flavor, a little bit more predominant in the cake, because it is, after all, it is always a pear cake. I wanted to have that, so I wanted to make it pear. The pears are just coming into season. The most beautiful pears are here. I had to peel them because, especially these pears, they have a very firm skin, and it seems they have this skin because they have this beautiful, sweet, soft flesh, and they want to protect themselves, because when you cut the skin and the peel, and you peel them, and you taste a little bit of the peel, it's so bitter and dry and tart. No animal would like to eat that. So they might be like the pear wants to confuse the animals that they don't eat this beautiful flesh. I don't know. But anyway, it's very bitter, and I had to cut it off. So I have now my ground layer here. More or less, doesn't have to be perfect. Here, just to give you an idea, ground layer, some slices here. And now I put the rest of the pears here, into the small pieces. With this one, this is the bulk of the pears. I put that into a bowl. Oops, and together with my vanilla cashew cream, I have to mix that before, or to combine that before I put it into the cake, into the form. Otherwise, it won't really work, I think. It's not easy to do that in the form. That's why it's easier in a bowl, separate. And then I fill everything together, well combined into the spring form, and then that is easier. So all I have to do now, I have to combine it evenly. And then the pears are juicy. They will also make this cream a little bit juicier, softer. But after all, the cream needs to hold the pears together. That's what it is about. And I put a little bit of lemon into the cream, because otherwise it would maybe get brown. I'll sprinkle also some lemon juice onto the pears when they sit for a while, to keep them from getting brown. It's not so nice. And the lemon is very helpful here. Also adds a nice flavor. Here, this is my filling. You see the pears are dominant here, predominant. And now I can fill everything into the form, and then the cake is already done. I just have to put it into the refrigerator overnight. It should firm up. Tomorrow I can enjoy. I show you then what it looks like. But first now, put the filling into the cake, into the cream form. Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, it's the right amount. It's a nice size. The form is filled almost. So I can easily put it into a refrigerator and let it firm up. Nice, evenly on top. So, pear pie. Sides up. Have a look. The rest I will do now, I put a little foil on top, so to make it nicer. And as I show you tomorrow when I open the cake and cut a piece out. I hope that works after one night or so. Until then, I see you in a moment. The next day has come, and well, I will see now if my cake is done, it's ready. I can cut a piece out of it. Here you see, this is the foil I put on top. Now I can take it off, because without the foil there would have been a lot of puddles here now from the refrigerator, from the water that comes out of the cake. But with the foil there is a minimum amount. I keep the foil, I won't throw it away, because when I put the cake back into the refrigerator, when I have eaten a piece or so, I put the foil back on top and put it back into the fridge. So now, here, what I have to do is, I have to open the ring, and then I cut the piece out. First, I might have to run the knife around the cake, because the ring, oftentimes the ring sticks to the cake. And then, well, let's see, I have to run it. Now we have the paper there, the parchment paper, and that is a little bit hard for the knife. Let's see, maybe I can take it off like that. Yeah, that's easy. I don't need the knife. I can take the ring off, and now I can take off the paper, I guess. Yeah, that works. That works. Good. Okay. Well, don't know if that's the best idea. Let's see. It wasn't, I give it a try. So now the cake is here. I see the many pears, yeah, on the outside. Now I try to cut out a piece. Maybe I take a sharper knife, because I might have to cut through some of the pears, and in that case the knife has to be sharp. So I begin in the center, I put the knife. Yeah, it's soft, it's nice. Soft, I can feel the pears. They're watery and juicy. I can cut through them here. And the cake seems to be firm. Actually, so that worked. That's the most important thing. I'm making a raw food cake, that the filling is firm and doesn't fall apart, doesn't run away or so. And this time, it seems to work. I take a small piece, and now let's see if I can lift it out of the cake. Looks good so far. Yeah. Hey, that works. show you my piece. My first piece, and you see the many pears here everywhere. You look close, you see, that's our pears. And it's a beautiful piece. It's a nice shape. And well, that's what I'm gonna enjoy today, at least some of it. Maybe friends come and then we will have a cake party. Yeah. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. If you like my video, subscribe MD Vegan on YouTube. Have another recipe every single day, and find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest and Twitter. Hey, what do you all think about this? Wouldn't that be a nice start for an afternoon? I definitely enjoy it. See you soon.